Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Marcus. I'm back again. A few moments ago, I was making this post for you. My sheep know my voice. And I got distracted and lost my thought. So I want to finish this thing off for you. My sheep know my voice. What I was basically trying to say to you is that in every situation, you're going to find a contradiction or a contrariness to whatever view anybody's expressing. Now that doesn't mean everybody's going to be different, but because of some of them, a lot of them will be enough to call them a group together. That's why people come together because you see things my way. But what I'm saying is, when you start looking for that, what is right, what is the proper thing, then that is and that will be determined by the spirit that is being expressed during those times. And so this is why it's so significant that each individual make that decision for themselves. As when Adam and Eve decided to make a decision to do that which they weren't sure of, but had heard that it would lead to death, and now they see death through their kid, uh, Cain killing Abel, and then they see the pain and stuff that goes from that, and through all of that is an expression of all of the things that we've always gone through, and yet it still goes through with that same kind of spirit every day. Excuse me. And as I think about it, I think about the people in China, and I feel so sad for China right now because most of the news is about the weather. And they're saying that these gorges have broken, these dams have broken in the water, just taking out thousands of people, taking out all kinds of property, to the homes and crops and buildings and businesses, and just wiping certain things out. So if some people might say if China was trying to conquer the world by building bridges to connect nations, hold up a minute, because the ones that they built at home are falling down. And that's not a joke. That's real stuff, ladies and gentlemen. But it's not just happening in China. It's happening everywhere. Indonesia, it's happening in the Philippines, it's happening in Japan, it's happening in Kentucky, it's happening in Missouri. Ladies and gentlemen, wake up. Nature is doing what nature does. And it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with nature. It just means that we are not prepared to deal with it, with nature. So I'm thinking, if you got the people in Russia who are going through all of this oppression, if you got the people in China who are listening to, if you got the people in all of these dictatorships, and you ask them, how would they prefer to live? Would they re- would rather live the life that is being advocated through basic human rights for all people? And I guarantee you every last one of them would say yes. In private. But the moment that it's going to be public, or the powers that be is going to hear it, they would never go for it. The same as the Republicans who will say things about Donald Trump when he's not around. But as soon as he's around, it's over and done. No, we're not going that way. That's the way those things are going. But I'm thinking, ladies and gentlemen, when you got, as I was going to say a moment ago, when you got things going like that, it's got to come to a head. It has to come to a head just like it did with Cain and Abel. But I was thinking about this that really brought me to this point. I was sitting and I was thinking, why is it that animals, I've been watching television on these wild kingdoms and stuff, and they're showing these big snakes eating all kinds of big animals. Not only that, you got lions and tigers fighting each other and eating it, or killing an elephant or a hippo and eating it. And I'm thinking, I know good and well that that is not the Spirit of God. That right there is not the Spirit of God. I'm convinced that mankind have human all life that requires food has been prepared for them that had nothing to do with killing, had nothing to do with meat. And that means fish as well. Not, nope, nope, nope. And so when we say killing, I'm looking at these animals, and I know, you know what a bully's like. Can you imagine an animal walking around all of a sudden feeling bigger and bolder and tougher than any other animal out there, woofing and ready to starve because that spirit of egotism, that spirit of pride and all that other stuff that's ugly is infesting itself there. And I can see it causing battles. And if you start fighting, I'm sure there'll come a time when you might decide to eat as Jeffrey Dahmer. And once these animals taste somebody, taste an animal, taste another animal after defeating it and then feasting off of it, then in time, I don't know how to explain beyond that, but I can see it starting like that. And now you got animals out there. But what it really expresses, ladies and gentlemen, is the same thing that happened between human beings. They got that same spirit, the spirit of righteousness, the spirit of evil, the spirit of hate, the spirit of love, the spirit of, whatever it is that's not good versus that which is good. It's out there. And it is fitting on us like this shirt fitting on me. And this is the challenge that every last human being got on this earth. To be placed on this earth. To be placed on this earth and to live the life on this earth in such a way that as an individual, you can begin to see the truth and the light of life as an individual and express that in your daily living, that it might spread abroad, that the groups, the people might be able to see and be able to grow up and mature beyond their barbaricness and start developing and doing those things that represents love instead of the opposite. Represent that which gives life rather than that which takes life. And this is how the group grows. The group grows from the individual. But if the group does not grow, then the individual is required to grow. Why? Because this is the test that every human being has got to go through. You got to choose one of them. You got to be led either by the spirit of love or its opposite. The spirit of love, let me just say it to you again, wants love for everybody. Wants peace. Let me just give you some examples. I don't have all of them, but just give you some because these we understand as human beings. Love represents peace, prosperity, freedom, joy. Now, the scriptures might give you something else. I'm not knocking those, but I'm talking about what we want, and we know we want. Peace, prosperity, freedom, and joy, and the fulfillment of our dreams. And that might include transportation. No. Let's go on the next line. The next line means that the things that we know we need, like food, clothing, shelter, education, transportation, health care, all that kind of stuff, guaranteed without a problem. That our needs, our wants, and our desires are met. That's love. Now, the anti-love is the opposite of that. Doesn't mean that these things that I just mentioned can't happen, because these things are required of life. The only thing that the anti-love means is that it happens for some, not everybody. Oh, no. That got to be a difference. Love says it's all. The opposite says no way. Because see, if you say all, then the opposite has no power. See, the real thing knows, but the opposite is pretending. That's why you got these dictators. They want to pretend that they're God. And they incite fear in people because they will kill people. And see, not knowing the truth that you shall surely die because you took the pledge and you joined the secret society and you came over here on the earth and you gonna die. One way or another. Sometimes you can die from sickness, disease, pain, and suffering, one way or another. Or you can die for standing up for truth. That's the luxury of life. That's the graduation day that's your PhD, that's your whatever, to be killed for standing up for love. To be killed, and you didn't even put up a hand of defense. You didn't care. You were glad to get out of here. Man, oh man, oh man. Not because you didn't want to do the work. You've done the work as best you could. But you're so glad because you have done the work the best you can. You are glad to graduate. When you get ready to graduate from high school, elementary school, middle school, high school, college, whatever, you're glad. It doesn't mean you're against the people that's behind you that's coming up. No. But you celebrating your day now. But what are you saying? You're saying to all of those behind, yes, you can. Just keep on coming. It's here for you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. I'm sorry I kind of left up on that other part. But all in all, The message of life is you, the individual. You, the individual. You don't even have to point no fingers at everybody, because being mad at others is your ego. All you have to do to be real is be you. If you're living in a pot of slop and you want out, start stepping out. Don't care what's happening, start stepping out. Everybody might think you or whatever they want to think about you for trying to separate yourself from slop. But keep on stepping until you get out of the slop. You'll be surprised at other people stepping trying to get out of the slop too. Anyway, thank you so very much. Have a nice one.